Hey, I'm Kris Allen, and this is Bridge the Atlantic.
Hey, how's everyone doing? For Bridge the Atlantic, I'm singer-songwriter Marcin Novelli from Canada.
And I'm music web designer Ross Barber-Smith from Scotland.
And you're watching Encore, a show featuring advice for musicians from the industry's finest. If you're new here, subscribe.
Today we're joined by Kris Allen from Nashville, singer, songwriter, and American Idol winner.
Collaborating is something I'm getting into. I used to just kind of focus on my own artistry, but I think bringing in other artists into your world and going into their world, I think not only do you create something that would never exist otherwise, but you also are just sharing your talents with other people and opening your whole world up. I think you bring something back from it too that maybe you wouldn't have it to begin with. That's my little spiel, but I want to hear from you. Can you share the best tips for collaborating with other artists? And, what can artists do to make the most out of any collaboration opportunity?
So collaborating was something that I still am learning how to do. I'm not amazing at it. I don't call myself an amazing collaborator. And I live in a town where that's what you do, And
you live in Nashville,
so
right? We should probably...
I live in Nashville, where
so
everyone co-writes twice a day.
Yeah.
And so I have to check myself at the door, because especially when I'm writing something for myself, I can put my emotions and all these artist things so far up front and go would I really say that? Maybe I would say that. I don't know if I would say that. And I think those things are good to think about, but they can also make just halt the process and halt the creative process and kind of not make people frustrated, but make them well, what do you want to say? And it's well, I don't know. And so there's this, it can get a little confusing. So I have to always check myself at the door. But for me, when I'm collaborating with somebody, the best thing that I can do is come in with even something small, especially when I'm doing something for myself, like an idea, whether it be a title, whether it be a lyric or a chord progression or something like that. If I come in with something, I feel like it always makes the time better. Like the other day, I was actually writing with Gabe Dixon, and I came in with this chorus and I played it for him, and he was like, "Dude, I love that. Let's finish it together." And we finished it in no time, and I seriously think it's one of the best songs I've ever written. And thank God for Gabe and helping me write it. It would not be the same song without him. Yeah, so it's a tough thing, and I think you just always have to be selfless whenever you're collaborating.
So do you separate the process of writing for yourself versus, well, even if you're writing for yourself by yourself or writing for yourself collaboratively, is that a different process? And also, have you been writing for other artists? And if you do, how do you approach that?
I don't know if I've ever written. Well, yes, I have. I've written with other artists for them, and that's a fun place to be, because I enjoy that. Like, I enjoy trying to get. It's not about me anymore. It's not about what I want to say. All those things completely go out the window. It's what do you want to say? And I just try to help them figure out what that would be, and try to craft a song in a way that is best for them. And I'm not amazing at it, but I enjoy that place.
So would you say writing for yourself is more cathartic, whereas writing for someone else is maybe more rewarding?
Yeah, I would say I would say this, if I wrote a song for myself and it did pretty well on the charts or something like that, I think I would be cool. That's, that was a cool thing that happened. But if I wrote a song with someone else and for somebody else, and it did top 10 or something like that on the charts, I think I would be more excited about it. I don't know why.
Really? That's interesting. And you have to dive down. You have to get yourself a therapist and dive deep down to figure out why.
I know. I think
maybe you just want to help other people. Maybe it could be, this is just my theory. Maybe because you're celebrating that with somebody. You know, because I think as a solo artist, I can relate. A lot of stuff's on your own, and I think because we're always, you know, working to grow and as artists, as a career, everything, it's hard. And there's I mean, no matter what, there's so many low points, you know, so many things that you're always fighting against, rejection, everything, that I think we don't spend enough time focusing. I know I don't, focusing on the good things. Even if it's a little small thing, we just kind of like brush it off, but there's so much attention on this didn't happen, you know? Yeah. So I think we need to focus on positive. So my theory is that you've got someone else to bounce that off of, that you can be excited with, maybe, you know?
Yeah, you guys can celebrate together. You can, like, cheers and go, look what we did.
And whereas if I did something, it would be, you know, it's like, well, that was cool. I got to do something else now, and then on to the next one. You know,
be modest about it, and all, you know, that kind of stuff. So
exactly.
That makes sense. That's really cool, man. So you think collaborating? Well, if you're in Nashville, I was going to ask if you're going to keep doing it, but I think it's almost like mandatory.
You kind of have to. Yeah.
I don't do it as much as probably a lot of people do, because I get drained really easily with like creative ideas for songs. And if I was writing 5 times a week with someone else, I think I would just, I don't know. I think I can relate to that. I think all the creative artists, juices would be gone.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I think some artists, we recently had someone on from Nashville as well who spoke about, you know, just writing as much as possible. That doesn't work for me. I think it works for some people. For me, I think I'd get burnt out too. It's almost like you need to let it percolate, you know? You let it percolate and then channel it through your art rather than just disperse it too much.
Well, and for me, like, each song means so much. So if I start an idea on a song, I spend a lot of time on it, and I'll spend a month on one line. Or, I mean, that's exaggerating, I think. And but
on the song.
But you know, like I want to. Each song is like just my babies, and so each song that I put out, it's like I spend a lot of time on crafting it and getting the chords right and getting, you know, everything about it right and all the little details in it. So, and that is not something that you really do on a co-write.
We hope you enjoyed this Encore episode. For more from Bridge Atlantic, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you want to pick up one of our shirts, visit our website and use the coupon code BTAROCKS to receive 20% off your order.
This episode was brought to you by Social Surge, your source for social media marketing and online music promotion. Check them out because they do outrus.
They keep the show alive. And if you would like to sponsor the show and become an official Bridger, join us on Patreon from as little as $1 per month. Not only will you be able to showcase your band or brand to our amazing audience, but your support will allow us to keep bringing you weekly videos here at Bridge the Atlantic.
Thanks so much. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.